Hi creatives, I am Dima and you're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to cut. This is a pattern drafting tutorial of this princess that Bustier Corset dress that you can see with a structured neckline. If you've not subscribed to my channel, do well to do so and you will not have any reason to regret. Without wasting any of your time, let's get right into this. To do this, I used Mikado silk. I used this lining and this Mikado silk fabric, and then I have 6 yards of Ankara fabric. The Mikado silk is 3 yards. I did not use all though. I used about 2 yards plus, not really up to 2.5 yards. To make the pattern of this dress, I started by drawing a vertical line, just as you can see me do on this plain paper. Okay, after drawing this, the next I did was to get my front half length and mark, and then I have to get the bust point and mark, and then the on the bust. Okay, just do well to mark all of these points. Okay, where my tape started from is my shoulder line. I did not draw any special starting point. That's my shoulder line. Okay, so having done this, I'll be drawing horizontal lines all across those points that I made. Place your ruler really straight and draw horizontal lines across those points. After doing this, I will go ahead and mark the neckline. This is the shoulder that I marked first, shoulder measurement divided by 2, and this is the neckline, which is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I'll just connect it using my pattern master like this. So that is my shoulder measurement divided by 2 that I marked again, and I drew a vertical line. Now this is the shoulder slope of 1 inch, and I'll connect to the neckline like this. Now is to measure the across chest, which is 5 inches from there, and I had to come in by 3/4 inch, so that will form my armhole. Now this is the bust measurements divided by 4. So if you get your bust circumference at 40 divided by 4 is 10. So you mark and draw a vertical line like this. So this is bust, this is on the bust, and this is the waistline or front half length. Okay, so right now I'm going to measure the armhole, and then that is armhole measurement divided by 2, and I measured it like that, and I will draw with my pattern master. Check the link in the description and you'll see the link to the basic torso foundation and bodice block. So this is bust to bust. Bust to bust is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, and that is what I'm marking on all of those 3 points. Now the next is go to the waistline and mark 1/2 inch on both sides. Then this is 1 inch drop from the bust point. So I connected the dart leg to that 1 inch drop from the bust point. Now this is the under bust. I marked 3/4 and then 1/4 inch. So I'll measure 1/4 here and connect this under bust tightening to it, and connect this other part to the dart leg. So I'll use my pattern master, as you can see, and connect to the bust point. So that is it. The next is to draw the side bust dart, which is 1/3/4 inches for my client, and I connected to the bust point like this. 1/3/4 is the difference between the front and the back half length. That is what forms the side bust dart. Now the next thing here is the neckline drop, which is 2 inches from the basic neckline. Okay, so I'm just measuring it from here to get a straight line because I'm trying to make an off shoulder neckline. So I drew it straight like this, and I'll go ahead and draw my princess dart line. So now you just choose a point, but it's better to choose the mid of the armhole, okay, depending on where is very comfortable based on what you're doing. So just choose a point like this, mark 1 inch from that point, and then connect to the bust point, as you can see me do right now. So you connect like this and connect the second point like this. All of the shaded parts will be going off at the end of all of this. So right now the next thing to do is to go ahead and measure this, and I got 4 1/4. That is from the shoulder tip there to where my neckline started. I'll be using it for my sleeve draft. So this is the hip measurement. Okay, I marked at level 8 1/4. Okay, hip measurement divided by 4, that is what I just marked now. And this is the waistline. Waist measurement divided by 4 plus that intake. The that intake is 1 1/4 plus waist measurement divided by 4. So I'll just go ahead and connect it like this, and also connect to the hip measurement like so. Yeah, the hip measurement is hip circumference divided by 4. I said that earlier. So we have to get to this point, which is 8.5. 18.5 from the waistline, and then we measure hip measurement minus 2 on that knee line. Okay, knee line is at 18.5 from the waistline. So this is what we have here. I'll be subtracting 36 from the full length of the gown so that I know what is remaining. Now when I did that, I got 28 inches remaining, which I will use when I start drafting, cutting out the skirt part of this dress. Okay, now having done this, this is the back half length that I'm marking right here, and then from there I mark the hip level. Now this is the shoulder line that I marked, and I'm drawing a vertical line, shoulder measurement divided by 2. That is it. So this is the neckline, 3 1/4 by 1 inch, and I will draw my neckline, back neckline, like this. Now this is the shoulder slope of 1 inch, and I'll connect to the neckline like so. Now the next is to just go ahead and draw these horizontal lines on the waistline, that is back half length, and of course the hip line. The next is to mark the across back, which is 5 inches level from that starting point, and I had to go in by ½ inch. So this is the bust measurement divided by 4. If you have 40 divided by 4 is 10, and that is what I just drew that vertical line for. So you just go ahead and draw your armhole. Check the link in the description for basic bodice and torso foundation pattern making. So I had to draw my armhole like this, which is armhole measurement divided by 2. Whatever you get is what you're going to use to draw that armhole. So this is the hip line. I did my back tightening of 3/4 inch, and then from there I'll measure my waistline plus that intake, and I'll connect to the hip and also connect to the bust line like so. So here I'll go ahead and connect this to the hip line at the center back, and also towards the upside of this dress. Having done this, I'll measure 18.5 from the waistline so that we get exactly the same length of skirt that we used for the front. Having done this, I'll measure 1 inch from the center back, and I'll measure hip measurement minus 2. Okay, I'll mark it here, and I'll use my pattern master to connect to the 1 inch. And of course, I'm supposed to do the same as the center back. Okay, I did it while cutting, but I did not remember to film it. I apologize for that. So right here, you see what I'm doing. I measured the same 4 1/4 inch drop that I used for the front, and I had to draw this for the back. So this is the basic line straight up. I'll still drop this back. Okay, I'll still drop this back neckline, but if you want it to be the way you saw it right now, that is straight up right there, you can leave yours like that. So I'm cutting out the back, and I'll go ahead and cut the front. So I'll cut out the front like this, and cut out the shoulder slope for the front, and of course the neckline. After that, I'll divide this into the bodice and the skirt part and continue the pattern alteration. This is the back tightening I'm doing right here, and then this is the center back, and you can see I've separated it into the skirt and the bodice. So I'll be working with the bodice. So right here, I'm dropping the neckline. Feel free to drop your back neckline the way you please, and I'm connecting to the neckline I drew earlier because I want it to come in a V-shaped manner like that. So yeah, having done that, I will just come to the front, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue slashing this pattern to divide it into parts as it's supposed to be. So I said that all of those places that has shaded area will be going off, and that is exactly what I'm doing right here. I've closed up the start and had to use my masking tape to stick it down. So having done this, you can see what the back pattern looks like, and I've taken the V part of this. If you want it straight, please feel free to do that. And this is the complete pattern set for this tutorial. Okay, so this is the one yard that I cut out from the full 6 yards Ankara fabric, and I'm using it to cut out these patterns that I just made. So having cut it out, I'll pin it down like this and go ahead and cut everything out using 1/2 inch seam allowance, except for the side front, side back and center back, that I'll be using 1 inch or 1/4 to cut. So every other part is 1/2 inch, including where I'm cutting right now. So here I extended by 1 inch because that is the princess cut, and here I marked 1 inch, and I had to blend it to the armhole on that princess side, side pattern, princess side pattern. So here is on the bust and the bust point. I'm going ahead to put my notches, even the allowance for the side. I like putting notches. If you're familiar with this channel, you know that I like putting notches because it makes sewing really easy. So having done this, I'm going to cut out the neckline. I had to take, I took it straight, and I'll cut out like this with 1/2 inch. Now after cutting out, I will just notch on the bust and bust point and remove my pins. When I remove my pins like this, I will go ahead and shape the neckline the way I want it, because the two sides or the two parts of the neckline are not the same. So I had to just go ahead and draw the neckline the way I want it and then cut it out. So ensure not to drop it so much so that it will not expose the boobs. Okay, so feel free to drop the way you want, but if you drop it too much, it will be exposing. Okay, so what I dropped it by further is just 2 inches. So this is what I have, and this is the side part, and of course this is the back. I'm going to cut it out using 1/4 inch on the zipper area we are marking and the side, and every other part is 1/2 inch. So I'll just go ahead and notch the allowances so that sewing will be quite easy. And then this is what I have after cutting all of that. So you can see what I have there. I dropped it by 4/1/4. I'll be using that for the sleeve pattern. Okay, so this is the skirt part, and I'll go ahead and cut it. I'll cut it and I will put the remaining, I'll add the remaining length of 28 inches to this pattern. So this is what I have for the front, and I will go ahead and cut it on fabric. So this is the dart intake for the front. I'll just go ahead and draw the dart just as you can see me do. Draw your dart like this, and then go ahead and you can see what it looks like. This is 28 remaining for the front and the back. So I'm going to extend this line. I'm going to mark where the dart intake is and make sure I have a vertical line like this, and then I'll connect it like this. Because the front has two patterns, that is the fabric part, design fabric part, and the plain part that I'll be doing with Mikado to match with the structured neckline. So that is what I am doing right here. I'll cut out the dart. The dart will be going off as I cut this, and this is what I have. This is center front, so that I don't get confused at any point where is where. Okay, so this is what I have, and I'll just go ahead and cut it and also extend it to the length I want, which is 28 inches extra. So here I have cut the back pattern and I have extended it to where I want. Okay, I've extended it to 28 inches below the knee line. That is the full length that I want. Then this is the front and I have cut it as well. I cut exactly this pattern and I added seam allowance by the side. Of course, I marked the reverse of the mikado so that it will be easy for me to just put together. So I'll keep all of that aside and continue with the pattern making. So here is the front pattern and I'll be sticking it together. I'll stick it together like this and I'll cut it. So with this, I am going to cut the lining, but please, you can cut the lining before even slashing it all, you know, to start cutting in pieces with the mikado and the design fabric. So what I have here is the fabric as you saw earlier. I've gone ahead to cut the lining of all of this, as you can see. The next is just to go ahead and structure them. So this is the skirt part. I've cut the lining. I've also cut the lining of this front all in one. So this is the front lining that I've cut all in one. I didn't pieces it like the pattern, main pattern, okay, of the front. So now I'm going to do the sleeve, and you see that I dropped it by 4 1/4. So make your basic sleeve and mark 4 1/4, measure 4 1/4 from this point and mark just as you can see me do. Check the description box to see the link to a basic sleeve. Okay, I just drew a horizontal line like that and marked 2.5 inches from there, and I will just ensure I mark 2 inches from that end and then connect. As you can see me do, just aside what I'm saying, just listen. Yeah, listen, but also watch what I am doing. So this is the off shoulder sleeve that I'll be using. I'll folded this fabric into 2 and then folded again so that this fabric will give me two pieces with 1 cotton. So I'm going ahead to cut this with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'll go ahead and cut a second one so that I'll have 4 pieces of this. Okay, I already have 4 pieces of that because of the way I folded it. So you can see the back, I've applied hairstay, and you can see the neckline of the lining, and I have applied gum stay. And here I have this. Watch closely for the center front and the side front. I've applied wadding and hairstay, and here I applied wadding and ensured it did not get to the neckline so that the neck will be very flat when I stitch. This is very, very important, an important tip. I did the same for the lining. I applied wadding and ensured it didn't get to the neck, though I applied gum stay afterwards, so you can't really see where the wadding ended. So this is the side for this, and you can see the wadding on the lining is thicker than the one on the design fabric. Note this, but please, it's not the very thick wadding that is so strong. No, 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 no. So I'll go ahead and mark my notches and use it to start joining all of this together, but that I will treat in my next tutorial. This will be the end of this tutorial. I hope you have subscribed. Turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first to know each time I upload my very easy and detailed tutorials. You will not regret joining this family. In my next tutorial, I'll be showing you how I did this structured detail on this neckline, how I put all of this dress together, and of course how I did the angular detail that you can see at the skirt part of this. And this is the end of today's tutorial, and of course I will see you in my next one. I love you all. Bye.